What's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year's, guys. Hope you have a blessed 2024. Comment 777 if blessings are coming your way all 2024. And if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you got to take the like button, grab your putter and tap it in. Give it a tippity tapperoo. You know who we're doing it for. We're doing it for grandma. We're beating the SEC. We're buying her house back with XRP. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some key stuff for you guys to know how to position your portfolio the right way, set going into 2024, so you guys can become the first millionaire in your family tree, but create, more importantly, predictable wealth. You know, if you're starting with just $100 and you're trying to turn that into $1 million, yes, it's possible, but it's an unrealistic expectation for yourself. So the real expectation that we want to set is helping you grow your wealth without losing money. That's the key here. And then over time, we'll build that up to $1 million. So obviously, if you have more to start with, if you're starting with 10K or 100K, you know, it's gonna be a lot easier to build up to $1 million. But if you're starting with something small, like $100, you know, to get that to $1 million, the goal here is to compound that over time. So I'm gonna be sharing with you guys some key principles to help me become a millionaire before 30. So let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about 2024. Let's talk about what's happening going into it, some expectations, because number one, the first thing is the ETF approvals. You know, experts are saying there's over a 90% chance of these ETFs getting approved. And if they approve one, they're more than likely gonna approve the majority. There could be some denials in there based on these last minute changes that have taken place for the spot ETF applications from these companies. But the big dogs, you know, you got BlackRock, you got Fidelity, you got Van Eck, you got ARK 21 shares, all these big companies. There's gonna be some approvals in there. Now, whether it happens within the next day or two, or whether it happens by January 10th, January 10th is gonna be, you know, the epitome, that real cutoff date for us to see what's going on. And one of two things could happen, right? Approval, and based on that, you know, bullish price action. We see Bitcoin go crazy. We see Bitcoin get up to the 618 retracement, up to 48K, potentially even 50K, 55K, maybe the all-time high, maybe higher. Personally, I don't believe Bitcoin's going past the all-time high in early January. I think we top out, and I could be wrong here, guys. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below why you think I'm wrong and why you think we're gonna pass the all-time high with this. You know, I've just seen this happen and play out too many times where the people that are in the markets, right, the big people that understand the ETF stuff, they have already bought. They bought back in September. They bought back in October. They already bought back in 16K for Bitcoin. So they're already in the markets. People are saying that the big wigs are about to enter. Yes, they are long term, but they are already in. They've already been buying Bitcoin. They've already been accumulating, and they're getting people excited about transferring over, you know, their 401ks, their Roth IRAs, the money that they have in the stock market into the crypto market. And so that creates a short-term temporary pump, getting people excited over the course of a few weeks. So January, I think it's gonna be bullish based on the ETF approvals. Now there is scenario two, which could be something in the SEC's bag of tricks that they use to delay the SEC approvals. And if that were to happen and there's no approvals and it's just a massive delay from all of them, and they say all these applications need to be revised, and then we'll talk about it in March, well then that would cause a market crash. The people that were buying the rumors would sell that news, and then the markets would crash from that. And so a sell the news event would take place based on delayal, but I don't think it would be outright denial. It would be delay based on some things that need to be changed around to meet the SEC standards, you know, whatever that means, right? Because Gary Gensler's standards are just attack every single company. So, you know, arguably, I do think we're leaning more towards the side of approval, and then massive January, people get excited. We see the greed go to an all-time high. We see the RSI, relative strength index, you know, start popping back up there for a lot of these projects. I'm gonna get into the charts over the next few days with you guys to show you on the charts to back up my thesis and my opinions here, you know, because I like to use logic and technical analysis to back up the fundamental analysis of what's actually happening in the news. But we have the ETF approvals. It's looking bullish. It's looking great for January. Now, what does it look like after that? When is the market going to peak out? Where are we going to top before a correction, and what's next? Because going into Bitcoin's halving, historically, the past two bull runs going into Bitcoin's halving, we've seen Bitcoin sell off into the halving. And what causes the sell off into the halving is different each time because we're in a different economic climate. Things are changing nonstop, right? We have different, inflation levels, different unemployment levels, different things happening in the real estate market. Interest rates are a different level now than they were last bull run. Now that we're pausing, we have to watch the FOMC meetings that are taking place and what the Fed is going to do next. And what the Fed is doing in the next meeting is most likely a rate pause. So it's not during rate hikes that the market crashes, because as you guys have seen, they've been hiking rates at the fastest pace virtually in history, and the markets have been rallying with that. It's not when they pause rates that the markets crash, because they've had rates pause, for several months now, and the markets are still rallying. It's when they drastically cut rates that the markets crash, and we see some type of black swan event happen, which causes them to cut rates, because they don't cut rates just to cut rates. They're not gonna drop interest rates down at their FOMC meetings just because they want to. They're gonna do it because something is happening in the economy that is some type of black swan event. And so I can't remember who said it, but anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And whether it's planned, it's an orchestrated black swan event, it's completely random, it's nature made, it's some pandemic, it's some sort of supply chain shock, it's some sort of economic calamity, it's some sort of war, it's something like that. A black swan event, in my gut, I feel is coming 2024. I feel like something big's gonna happen. And so preparation is the best prevention, right? You don't wait for something bad to happen to start preparing. You start preparing early, and then when the bad thing happened, you're ready for it because you knew it was coming. And so if you prepare for a black swan event and you get ready for that, number one, the best thing that happens to yourself is you're not overly leveraged in the markets, so you're not falling prey to the FOMO, the mass psychology, the tribalism, because crypto is very tribalistic, guys. You think it's based off these charts. No, it's based off human emotion. It's based off tribalism that fuels these charts, because people like to root for something, right? That's why we have religion. That's why we have sports. That's why we have politics. That's why you had cliques in school. So crypto's no different. People are tribalistic about these projects, right? Like XRP Army, it's XRP Army. Just look at that word. It's a tribe, right? Then you have the Bitcoin maximalists, and then you have, the meme coin people. You got the DeFi people. You got the artificial intelligence people. You have the gaming people. A lot of these people like to stick to one tribe, and they believe in that, and that's what causes markets to rally. But that's also what causes mass tribalism in the bearish direction when these sell-offs take place, because then everyone starts turning on each other. They look for people to blame, and they blame the leaders of the tribe or the people that caused the crash, right? FTX, there's a massive tribalism with all these celebrities endorsing, Tom Brady, Kevin O'Leary, all these other celebrities endorsing Sam Bankman-Fried, the most generous billionaire in the world, right? So it's building this massive tribalism. Then you had Matt Damon with Crypto.com, Fortune favors the bold, those commercials. Then you got now the Dos Equis guy advertising Bitcoin. So it's tribalism, it's marketing. I've been studying marketing for over 10 years, and I don't fall victim to it, but I understand it, and I know when it's good, when it's bad, when it's ugly, or when it's great, right? And so right now, the marketing is good going into great in January, but then it's about to get really, really ugly. It's going to get really, really ugly, but get excited for it, okay? Because when it gets really, really ugly, that's the best buying opportunity. See, if you had money on the sidelines during COVID, you could have gotten the best deal on Bitcoin that you would have ever gotten in your entire life. But if you didn't, and you were over leveraged in the market, guess what happened? You lost 60% of your portfolio value in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Crypto market is one of the fastest growing, but also the fastest crashing market in the world. And so if you're not ready for a black swan event and you're like, this guy's just crazy talk. There's no such thing as a black swan event. Guys, black swans event happen all the time, but they happen fast, and you can't prepare for them. You don't know when they happen. You just know that they will happen. That's the key. They will happen. You don't know when they will happen. It's not if, it's just when, and how big will it be? Will it happen 2024? Will it happen 2026? People saying that 2024 will be a great year. Now, I do think the second half of 2024 will be a great year, because elections coming up, the Democrats are going to want to pump the market to make it look like they did a good thing to the economy, when in reality, they just artificially inflated the markets more. And then that would be 6 months after Bitcoin's halving, which historically is a great time period. where the markets take off, because as you guys know, the markets crash going into Bitcoin's halving, then consolidate sideways for 6 to 12 months, then take off 6 to 12 months after Bitcoin's halving. Now that's right around election time. So wouldn't they want to pump the markets at the end of 2024 in response to some sort of black swan event in the first half of the year, and then save that black swan event with money printing, cutting rates, and then driving up money printing, which is going to further, screw over the US dollar. So right now, the DXY on the RSI is, I think it's like 33 at the time making this video. So in January, I do think that's going to push lower. It's going to drop the DXY down to roughly 100, and then we're going to see Bitcoin rally up to roughly 48K, 50, maybe 55K. I don't think we're passing the all-time high. And again, I could be wrong, not financial advice. So don't buy or sell anything based on what I'm saying. This is just what I believe is going to happen, and I'm okay with being 100% wrong. I hope Bitcoin goes to $250,000 as fast as possible, because then you guys all make money, we all make money together, we all win. But just as quickly as it comes up, it comes down, right? Law of physics, or anything opposite and equal reaction, right? When you hit something, it comes back like a pendulum. And so the crypto market, the quicker that it goes up, then you have to err bigger on the side of caution, because the pullback in the correction is going to be just as quick. And so it's better that it takes a little bit longer to go up, because if Bitcoin starts taking off into this ETF approval and shooting up really, really fast, then that correction going into March and going into April, February, March, and April could be a 30 or 40% correction. So at least get ready to have some money on the sidelines for when that dip takes place, to spot other projects that you either are dollar cost averaging back into on a dip that you believe in, that have been around for a long period of time, that are your high conviction plays, that are the projects like Chainlink, right? Chainlink's gonna be amazing. XRP, internet computer. You can look at, some people say Solana. I think it's a big distraction right now for VCs to make a lot of money. Similar to what happened, and I talked about this in my internet computer video, of how Solana was manipulated, ICP was manipulated to pump up Solana, and it's happening again. So the VCs are making money. I saw that one Chamath Palihapitiya video, just their body language. I can read body language, and you just kind of saw that they were just like making a lot of money from it. So they're excited about that, but they're going to be dumping on retail here soon. So you guys have to be ready for that. So getting ready to dump, like Solana, I think it's going to do well this bull run, but the RSI already peaked above 80 on Solana. I'm not buying more Solana right now. I'm getting ready to hedge a good chunk of that. But for you guys, what projects make sense to buy or to hold right now? For me, not telling you what to do, but XRP is the only one that really hasn't taken off yet. Yes, there's some other ones in the space that are mid caps or low caps that have yet to take off. XDC is really great, QNT is really great. Some other projects that you guys believe in, HBAR, Algorand, the ISO ones. There's a lot of great projects. You don't need to be in a million of them. You can have some solid ones, but when the rally happens, if you're not hedging anything and you're just holding for the long term, well, then you have to be ready to stomach a black swan event. And if you don't have enough money on the sidelines to be able to pay your bills or to buy groceries or to pay your mortgage during a black swan event, and you're over leveraged in the market, that is the quickest way to bankrupt yourself, because then you are forced to sell out of necessity to survive, to pay your bills at lows when the markets crash, to liquidate to pay your rent, rather than just choosing to sell to add a little bit more cash on the sidelines. So if you don't have enough to pay your bills on the sidelines right now, then highly consider getting some cash on the sidelines for yourself, so you can be able to live without stressing out about watching the charts go up and down, and not sleeping at night, because that's just not healthy, right? So how do we create predictable wealth if the markets are crashing? How do we do that? Well, one of the best ways to be able to do that is to have passive income on the front end, have a business on the front end that is relatively low cost to start. And if you guys want to see, our number one recommendation, we're gonna be launching our financial education platform very, very soon. But we do have a business model that's free to get started with, costs no overhead, and you can help businesses make money. You guys can check that out in the description below. Create your free account, check it out, watch the video. I know you guys are gonna love it. You can get that in the description below. You can subscribe to our video newsletter as well too, to be on the early bird list, to see our top altcoin picks before we make videos like this, or other videos on the channel that are more detailed about technical analysis and altcoin breakdowns, by going to bullrunners.com. But predictable wealth is created over a long period of time. It doesn't just happen overnight, right? A lot of people say, well, look at this person, he's an overnight success, but they don't see what happened for 10 years. It took him 10 years to become an overnight success. He worked hard day and night, consistently for 10 years. Then all of a sudden, something worked, whether it was the business, whether it was an investment, whether it was some partnership, whether it was something worked, but it might have taken 10 years to figure out how to go through the trial and error and the pain to find that right project, that right partnership, or that right business that finally works. So for you, if you're brand new as an entrepreneur or brand new as an investor, the most important thing for 2024 is learning how to fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the process, fall in love with the patience, and do this not for the money that you're gonna make, because yes, you'll make a lot of money in these markets, guys. It's wild, it's life-changing. You know, you're gonna become the first millionaire in your family. I truly do believe that if you stay in the game, but it's about the person that you become and who you can create yourself into in the process, because you're not competing against me, you're not competing against, Michael Burry, you're not competing against Michael Saylor, you're not competing against, the billionaires, or you're not competing against the people who have less than you, you're competing against you. You're competing against yourself on who you were yesterday. So if you can just become like 0.1% better every single day, up to 1% better, then in 1 year from right now, you can be a 365% different person. You can do a complete 360. And so that way your life right now is a direct result of what you did 12 months ago. So your life in 2025 will be a direct result of what you do every single day for 2024. And so the right productive habits for yourself to focus on every single day, I'm gonna be coming out with in a video over the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Again, Happy New Year. We can see the fireworks starting to go off over here. A few of them. We're gonna go out to eat. And then I'm getting ready to go all in 2024 with you guys to help you back up the trucks all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind, because we believe that the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain tech, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in interest. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping. I think it's all the way over there on the beaches, or it's up there somewhere on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.